Hi everyone, this is Yolanda from CraftySentiments.com, and I'm here with a really quick video for you today. I got a request to show how I put this heart-shaped easel card together, how I created it, and I want to show that for you today. So some of the items that I'm going to be using are the brand new, they're called Sweet and Sassy Framelit dies. These will be coming out June 1st. This is a really great set. It's for you'll be using this a lot. This should be part of your basic repertoire of things that you have. So I would definitely think about purchasing this particular item. It comes with 15 or 16 particular dies. So for this particular card, we're going to use the very largest heart shape, the smallest heart, and the second to largest heart. So I'll put those aside. We will be using those today. I'm also going to be using the brand new Thoughtful banners. Again, this is coming out June 1st. It has a multitude of sentiments and some banners that you can create different kind of sentiments and sayings. So we're going to use that. What coordinates with that is the dual banner punch. So we'll also be using that today to punch out a banner. You can buy this and the Thoughtful banners inside of a bundle. And again, that'll be coming out June 1st. For the sentiment inside the card, I decided to use Rose Wonder. This was continuing from our other catalog. This has some really great sentiments for sympathy, for birthday, thank you. And I'm going to use one of the sentiments out of this card for the inside of my card. We will also use, excuse me, some mini glue dots. I'm going to use the small itty bitty punches, the heart shape and the petal punch from the itty bitty punch pack. These will, unfortunately, are going to be retiring as of May 31st. But there's also other things that you can use with that, and I'll try to give you some hints for that. I'll write that inside of my notes down at the bottom. So we're going to use both of these punches as well. We're going to use Sweet Sugarplum. This is the new in color. I'm going to change up the color of the card, so this is the base of the card. I'm going to use Sweet Sugarplum. I am also going to be using my Fast Fuse. I have some rhinestones that I'm going to be using as well as embellishments. And the cardstock that we're going to be using is Sweet Sugarplum as well. So let's get started. So I have a piece of Sweet Sugarplum cardstock that is cut about 4.5 by 8.5, and it's scored in the middle, and you want to score it and fold your card in half. You will also need another sheet of Sweet Sugarplum, about a 4.5 by 4.5 inch piece. And this is going to be for the top layer. I'll show you all that in a minute. For the decorative top, I used a piece of scrap cardstock. This is the Irresistibly Yours. I think that's the name of it. If not, I'll put the name at the bottom of the list. This, I don't know if you can actually see it, but it has circles on there and it resists the color. And so I used a piece of this about 4.5 by 4.5, and I'm going to color it in with the Sweet Sugarplum. We also need a scrap piece of cardstock for our inside layer. Another piece of cardstock, this will be for the banner that I'm going to place on top. So we need just a small piece. I just had some scraps, so this is basically what that is. We'll need some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I use some Dazzling diamond glimmer paper. So we'll use that, and as you see, that's how I cut out the flowers and the heart with that. So let's get started. What you will need to do on the fold of the card, see, this is the way the card opens up. On the fold of the card, we're going to place our heart. But we don't want to cut out the whole heart because it'll give us two separate pieces. And we want this to stay connected as a card. So on the cutting blade, even though this is not really a blade, it doesn't it cuts through pressure. We're going to layer the heart so the top part of each of the loops on the heart are not cut out. So you layer it up and it'll be just over the top. Hopefully you can see that. Just a little bit. You don't want too much. Just a little bit. And you hold that down, and I use a piece of washi tape. Now, one of the tips to do with washi tape and any other removable tape is to put it on your hand a little bit and get some of the sticky off, because you don't want it to pull up the cardstock. So I basically do this to hold the die in place. So I just do it a couple times, 2 or 3 times, just to get some of the sticky off. And I pull that down, and you can see a little bit of the top. You can see a little bit of it that doesn't go over. And you'll take this to your Big Shot and you cut it out, and then you will get a shape that looks like this. And it opens up and it'll be connected. But you're looking, it's like, oh, look, it's not a full heart shape. What do I do for that? So basically what you would do for this particular section is that other piece of cardstock, you'll cut out another heart shape the same size as that one, and you'll get a shape that looks like this. And it will fit right on top of the other heart shape and cover up that little misshapen portion that that didn't show. So what we need to do to get the easel part is we need to take this half and fold it, take this, the front part of the card and fold it in half. And we'll crease it with our bone folder. And that's going to give us the easel part where it sits up. On the folded half at the bottom, not the top, but at the bottom, is where we want to put our fast fuse. We only want half of the heart to lay down. We don't want the whole part of the heart to lay down. So we'll line that up and put that on top of the card. Uh-oh, we got a little piece of washi that didn't come off. Let's see, it came off and it didn't leave any space. So now you have your heart on top and it forms an easel. For the inside, you take your scrap piece of cardstock and your second heart, you lay it on top. Oops, that's the wrong one. Your second heart, your smallest, excuse me, your second, all these hearts are getting all confused. Your second heart, you layer it, and it's just going to be one flat piece. It's not going to be 2 pieces, it's just one shape. And I tape it down, and I run it through the Big Shot, and you get a piece that's like this. So what I also decided to do is, before I layer it inside, I got one of the sentiments from the Rose Wonders set, and it says, "What a beautiful blessing you are to me." And I stamped that particular sentiment on my heart already. So I can layer that up. On the inside of my card. For the front, I also took that same heart, the one that's the second size, second from the largest, and I cut out from the Irresistibly Yours set, and I cut another shape, heart shape out, and that gives us this. So then, if I can find it through all of this mess that I have, I take my Sweet Sugarplum and a sponge dauber, and I'm going to color it in. You can color it as light or as dark as you want. Depends on how you want it to look. And you can see the resist part, the circles are resisting the ink, and that's the way it goes. I think I want this a little bit darker. And I can take this and layer this on top of the card. Now, in order for your easel card to stand up, you'll need a stopper. And so I took another small piece of Sweet Sugarplum and cut out this small heart. And you get that. And I'm going to place that on the inside of the card with a dimensional. And this is going to be our stopper for the card. And you see it'll sit up like that. But I also wanted just a little bit of glimmer to it. So I cut out a heart. I punched out a heart rather. From the Dazzling diamonds. And I glued that on. And there you have your stopper on the inside. Now to decorate the outside, I took the the flower punch, and I punched out 5 flowers. And I placed them on the heart with some glue dots. And you can feel free to decorate it either way you want. Put 2 on that side. For the sentiment, I used the banner punch, and I stamped the banner in a Sweet Sugarplum. And I stamped a sentiment that says thank you on the inside of that. Okay. And you punch it out with your banner punch. And I popped that up on a couple of dimensionals as well. And I placed it right on top. Now the final thing that I decided to do was to add a few rhinestones to the center of the card, of the flowers rather. I use this little bitty awl. I call it my little pokey tool because it picks up things so easily for me. And there you have it. So I do like to pull up the leaves just a little bit to give it a little bit of added dimension. You really could do this beforehand before you lay it down, but I didn't think about it. And there you have it. Quick and easy. I say that as I'm pulling up the sides. But there you have it. A quick and easy easel card that you can do as well. Thanks so much for stopping by. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below and will get back to you. If you would like to purchase any of the other items, please visit my online store. I have the link down below where you can visit that and select some of the items. Again, they won't be available for purchase until June 1st, but after that, you can shop to your heart's content. So thanks so much for stopping by and hope you have a great day.